Hi, I'm Bill from MessickStove, MessickStove YouTube, and MessickStove.com. Today I'm going to show you the DS Stoker furnace. Okay, DS also makes a Stoker boiler, meaning that it is very similar to a pellet stove and as such, except it burns coal instead of pellets. And DS, this particular model is a Stoker furnace, and if you can see to the right there's a hopper that holds the rice coal. Rice coal is just a smaller coal instead of a nut. Now keep in mind, now this is coal is a different concept than pellets, but it's very similar to a pellet design if you very look at it, except this particular design is very easy, very simple, and it's not as complex as some of the pellets designs. So, and also you're burning the rice coal, a smaller coal, which I'll show you here shortly. And just wanted to show you what the model looks like. Matter of fact, let's show you the rice coal now before we get too far. And this is rice coal. Let's see if we can put a little light in here. And this is rice coal. This is the size of rice coal, okay, for little tiny pieces. And they'll actually go in this hopper, and there's a corkscrew inside here, the bottom of the hopper, excuse me, and at the bottom you can see it's funneling down. That's where it's falling to. There's a tapered bottom to this to allow it to force this rice coal to go into the channel, so it'll actually fall into the bottom of the hole. And then this, like I said, this is the rice coal, and I can show you a little bit here just to give you an idea. And so the whole concept is not much different than let me show you the hopper as well. The concept is not much different than a pellet stove process, basically. You're taking a small product that's self-feeding. You just load a hopper and set your controls, and it pretty much does the rest for you. Of course, it requires electricity, and I do believe there's proof that some of the gentlemen are actually using a Stoker boiler now on batteries, and because of the low voltage and amps that's required for the unit to run, that they can actually do that as well. So that's something you want to keep in mind for some of them guys that are off the grid or want to be semi off the grid, or you're concerned about power outage and not having this running but you don't have a generator. So again, this is a DS Stoker furnace. So it'll have the same concept, the same, this is all, of course, all burnt product. Now I'm just going to drop it here, and as I drop it, you'll see that it's actually just falling into a very large ash pan in the bottom. So let's go to there, and we'll see if we can get this process flowing. There's the big ash pan. So as it fills up, the corkscrew is in the bottom. If you can see to the right there's a channel, and there's a corkscrew in the middle. It feeds into the pot, and then from the pot it gets pushed up. As it gets pushed up, of course, it pushes off the old burnt stuff, and fresh coal comes up through the middle, and then it continues to burn. So this is the ring, top of the ring of the pot. It's cool right now, so I'm able to touch this. You wouldn't be able to touch this if it wasn't cool. If you see, there's actually a panel here. That's where you have access there, and then you also can see there's a panel here. The purpose of that is that you can actually put your hopper on the right hand side and have your controls on the left. Okay, and that's a big control box at the bottom as well. This is a blower motor down here. Okay, that blower motor, just for instance, I'll show you, looks very similar to this setup here. It's just, you can see the covers off. This is a Stoker boiler of this particular bluish, greenish color you're seeing here. But that's just want to show you what's underneath this burgundy cover here. So now you see there's your control box. Now what happens is, now on this particular model, of course, you also have your blower in the back with your filter on the other side there. So and all your controls, and there's your temperature controls, and everything, and there's your fan stat up here for your fan to come on. Now, what I was getting at here is that the hopper can be reversed. You can actually install this with the hopper on the left, and all those controls and blowers and stuff on the right hand side, meaning that the auger now will be on the left. So you have some options here. The augers come in, the standard auger comes with it, then they have the next size up is a 5-foot and an 8-foot, and what you see on there now is like a standard size, and it's the standard distance there. And that hopper there, I do believe this may be just a steel hopper, but I also believe, if I'm not mistaken here, that this has a stainless steel liner in there. If you look down here in this corner, you'll see there's a little liner. So this may be a more cost-effective hopper option, and we'll see if that's they may have this available as well. Again, this is that's all black model. This is a stainless steel model, and it's just hooked up to the Stoker at this time. And let's open this up. So now you can see this is all stainless steel, made with some. Now you see some condensation there. You have to understand this is now July, and it is super hot, super humid, and we would probably recommend that you, in your summertime when you're not using it, if you do still have coal left in it, that you probably leave this cracked open or put a spacer in here to hold the lid up in the air to allow that condensation to be vented out. So here's another little label which is important, which I probably didn't talk about, but since the label's here and it reminds me, warning, keep hopper lid closed and secure with a latch to prevent carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide can cause sickness or death. And if you look at the hoppers also, both hoppers have gaskets on them to seal that. So what their concern is that some carbon dioxide may be possible for carbon dioxide to flow through the tube, the hopper tube, and get itself up in there and start seeping out into the house. So that's the stainless steel model there, and I'm not sure what they're doing with the lid. I think there might be a stainless steel lid on this. This is an older model, but there's some maybe one of the prototypes they've used as well. Again, this is how it works. Look inside. You can see the tubes on the left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and they go up, of course, and they're the heat exchange tubes. They're not water tubes, they're heat exchange tubes. And then you have the baffle system in the back here. See if I can get you some light, and that's just the blue board stuff. Now again, this is a prototype. Now if you notice, you're probably thinking, where's the exhaust go? If right back here, you can probably see the depths of almost the length of my fingers, is an open channel, and that's where the exhaust will go and then vent out through the pipe. So any of the ash, heavy ash that it leaves, should basically all fall to the bottom into the ash pan. And then there's your blower motor attachment. There's the wires to control that, and there's the pot. There's a little, that's the part of that's the auger motor that goes through and connects to the auger underneath, that little rod. So going out the left side is where the actual motor would be, and then it connects to the corkscrew underneath to the auger and goes through and of course out over here. So again, this is DS's prototype, but they've been burning it for a while. It's been running, and right now it's not running, of course, or I wouldn't be able to be in there. And like I said, this is July of 2017, and this particular model should be coming out this season. We're still not sure yet, waiting on some pricing and availability. And like I said, there's your plantum out of the top, kind of just like the regular Cozy Kings have. And you come out the top, and then you can hook this up to your shop. Right now it's just set up, it's designed to blow some heat out the top. Not really connected to any ductwork, but a lot of guys that have wood shops or an open floor plan, meaning one level floor, not you can't do this in a basement necessarily, but you probably could open it up to the basement and heat it out like a regular stove, but it's designed to go to ductwork. But usually, like guys that have shops, one floor shops, you can actually do this and just blow it across the room. But the best way, of course, to distribute your heat is to run a ductwork from one end to the other and distribute that heat out. But like I said, this just is showing this is a test process here as they have set up, get the heat out of there. But at least you know what's going on. You can see. They go to the back of the stove, and I should say the Stoker furnace. And there's your fan filter. Let's remove that. And there's your blower. So pretty nice size blower. DS does a really great job. Sorry about that. Really great job of building things, and their whole concept is, and which I am very happy with as well, is that I believe in when you spend your money on something, you want a great product, and DS is a company that you can spend your money on and have that great product. And what I was getting at with the motors are that they test these motors over and over and over through different conditions, different heat and temperatures, and a long story short is they make sure the motor really does its job. They want a motor that's going to hold up and last. If a motor doesn't fail, if a motor doesn't fail and it has good results and long lasting, takes a lot of beating, a lot of hours, basically a lot of hours, then they'll actually keep that motor. If they're starting to see some issues, some wear, even if they think a motor's not quite capable of handling something that gets wore out, that they'll actually literally go ahead and replace that motor, put something else in there before they actually get this thing to market. So they've done that a lot with a lot of their products, and actually put out some great products. And the blower motor on the new Stoker boiler and Stoker furnace is now set up where you can go ahead and do that. They've actually replaced a couple of the blower motors on these, and found out they found a better motor, a little tougher motor, something to hold up a little better, and they've done that. So when you actually purchase one of these, you'll get that particular new blower, new operating thing. They do it with all their products, and the whole point is that they want a product that's going to last. They don't want something breaking down. They don't want it to break down on you as well. So they're built things to last, and the great thing is they're reasonably priced. Everything they build is really reasonable price. Again, this is Bill from MessickStove and MessickStove on YouTube and MessickStove.com. Hopefully I did a pretty good video here and showed you as much as I possibly can. The controls and settings is very similar to the DS Stoker boiler, and right now they're showing only about not quite 20 hours, 7 hours on this one. And this is doing a pretty good job. I think the Stoker boiler was pushing out quite a few hours on theirs. Like they would test some of these boilers 32, even I think over 5,000 hours on some of them. So this particular model might have more hours on it as well. If I'm pretty sure it's got more than 20 hours on it. It's just they probably changed the box, changed some different things on it. But these are great models. Again, Bill from MessickStove, MessickStove.com, MessickStove YouTube, and it does have an 8-inch exhaust on it as well. So talk to you guys soon. Give us a call at MessickStove. We'll be able to answer your questions, get you some pricing, and not just the pricing, we want to get this thing sold to you. We want to ship them to you. And remember, when you purchase from MessickStove, you get our knowledge, you get our help during, before, and after the purchase. And if you have any questions, we'll be able to help you. And that includes with installation and as well. So if you also purchase our chimney systems as well from us, our chimney liners, we will actually work with you also and try to help you with the installs on those as well through the phone line. So we're tech support. All right, thank you. This is Bill from MessickStove, MessickStove.com, MessickStove on YouTube.